All right, and then we'll do one of these.
Great.
Fantastic.
The old long arm.
Yeah.
You're a
great.
pro.
All right, we're going to go back to that same question.
Great.
Raunchy dogs. Why now? Why raunchy dogs?
I mean, raunchy dogs. It felt time. I mean, it's just like it's a genre that was sort of ready to be subverted. I feel like, and I read the script and it had me laughing out loud. It was crazy, but it also had a lot of heart, which I love. So it's this kind of an amazing combination of both. But it is not for children, to be clear. Definitely not for children.
You have an incredible cast. What was sort of the process? Was it dog first, then actor? Was it actor, then dog? How did you find the right mix?
Yeah, we started the film by shooting the dogs first. We went to Atlanta. We filmed the entire film without our dialogue, and then afterwards, I went into a voiceover booth with Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx and Isla Fisher and Randall Park, and just an unbelievable cast. And did something kind of unique in the space, which is I got them all in the room together, and encouraged them to improvise and riff. And when you have heavy-hitting comedy players like Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx, you want to let them run. And you want them to be able to kind of interact and act opposite each other. And it's, for whatever reason, that's not the norm in those types of voiceover sessions, and they were all game. I mean, Jamie and Will have never been in a movie together. So this is their first movie, and they have incredible chemistry as dogs. But yeah, it was so fun. I mean, of course, shooting on set with the dogs was challenging. Is probably the nice way to say it, but really fun. I mean, as you can see, like just having the energy of having dogs on set is really unique. And then, of course, getting in the voiceover booth with talent like that was like just a dream come true. I couldn't believe I had the cast I had.
And then on set, you had a very good boy, who was Will Forte, playing a very bad person.
Yes.
Why was he the right person for that?
Well, Will Forte secretly is a really terrible guy. That's why I cast him. No, it's so funny. Will Forte couldn't be playing more opposite who he really is in this character in Doug, who is a terrible, terrible human being who mistreats his incredibly sweet dog. But, that's acting. That's the magic of acting. He knew exactly how to play it in fine levels where he was the villain that we love to hate and that we want him to get his comeuppance, because that's very important in this film. If you played him too sweet, you might be like, no, Reggie, don't do it. Don't go on this journey to go bite off your mean owner's dick, which is the plot of our movie, by the way, if I didn't say that earlier. Will Forte is just incredible and just like the sweetest man ever, and playing very opposite his type.
Has this movie changed the way you look at dogs and dog parks? Like, what is that experience for you like now?
Yeah, I think the process of making this film has just forever made me look at every dog and give them a voice and think about what they're saying. Now, as a dog owner my entire life, and I think most dog owners could agree, like we all do that. I think I've been adding a voice for my dogs in my life forever. And of course they were never PG. I mean, I don't know why would your dog have like censor himself? I think they talk like we do in private. We sometimes use bad words. We're very honest with each other. And so I think dogs in private do that as well. But yeah, it's forever changed my my ability to just look at a dog and not think, what's it thinking right now?
You got Lassie,
Yeah.
Sandy,
Yeah.
Beethoven,
Yeah.
Air Bud.
Yeah.
Where did the strays fit in that lexicon, in that Parthenon of talent?
I mean, they're very far afield from those wonderful characters of Beethoven and Lassie. But yeah, I don't know. That would be a fun crossover. Like our four strays meeting those dogs and them trying to be very sweet and being like, my God, did you hear what that dog just said to me? Yeah, but by the way, I love those films. I know Dan, our writer, love Homeward Bound, love Milo Notice as a kid. Cats and dogs, it is a fun genre. And, it did feel sort of ripe for subverting. But to be honest, our film's not really just a spoof. It's not a spoof at all, was sort of my thing. We, of course, send up the genre of dog movies, but it really functions in the way I saw it was just an R-rated comedy where the lead actors just happen to be dogs. That's how I kind of saw it when I was making it.
But there's also an incredible heart at the center of the story. This
There is.
wonderful friendship.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the friendship of the four dogs?
Yeah, I mean, the film in a lot of ways is actually about toxic relationships, because Reggie is in a relationship that he's giving to Doug, his owner, and is getting nothing in return. And it takes some friends to come along and say, hey, you're in a really bad situation right now, get yourself out of it. And I think that was really, honestly, when Dan, the writer, and I would have meetings, we would talk about that. It was quite emotional, and it is an emotional story, and the friendship is at the center. I thought about films like Stand By Me, The Goonies, and sort of friendship stories, Superbad, and these stories where like your friends become your surrogate family. And in our case, you know, it's a surrogate family of very mismatched dogs of all different sizes and breeds, but they fit, they work together, and they support each other, and they ultimately help Reggie kind of find his sense of self-worth in the end. It's very sweet, you know, which is I think what friends do when you're going through like a breakup, which is what Reggie's doing.
Dude,
Yeah.
what else can you say?
Yeah.
Do you have a PFF?
I mean, I have a PFF. I have a few PFFs. They're going to be here tonight at the premiere. One of my PFFs is my brother, who's right there. One of my PFFs is actually now, I adopted one of the dogs from the film. Yes, I adopted the young puppy Reggie. Yep, I found out this dog needed a home at the end of the film. I called my wife up. We already had a dog. And I said, hey, what do you think about bringing another dog home? And she said, absolutely. If it doesn't have a home, bring him home. So my kids were thrilled. I have twin daughters. They named him Reggie. And now I have Will Ferrell running around my house at all times in my living room.
Get out of here. You're amazing. Have the best night. Thank you so much. Oh, good. Yay. Yeah, please. Oh.